and plastic deformations. Then the stress strain and Young's module. What is the definition of stress? What is the definition of strain? And what is the meaning of Young's module? That is nothing but stress based strain. And the graphs which are you are showing here. This was the things which I have seen in the last class or the previous classes which we have discussed about the deformation of solids. So right now the pending thing is Haeckel's plots, and adding to the Haeckel's plot there is some kind of introductory plot also to be covered. Maybe they ask for the examination. So before going to the Haeckel's plot or what are the remaining part kept in the deformation of solids, one should understand the concept of process of tablet compression. See, the ultimate aim of reading this, see, any chapter having some use, some application to study. So the application of deformation of solids is nothing but discussion about the compression properties of tablets. When the tablet is got compressed, and what is the kinds of the theoretical aspects or practical aspects happening inside the solid is nothing but the deformation of solids. So for that, in the textbook they didn't give this one. So, but my opinion is you please understand first this concept of the tablet compression. Then it is easy for you to understand whatever it was written in the textbook. So looking to this, basically a tablet punching machine, which to call as tablet punching machine, tablet compression machine, or what are the names you are giving, the machines which are using to prepare the tablets, the regular tablets like this, looks like this. So the main heart of the instrument contains three parts. One is the upper punch, and second one is the lower punch, and this is called the die cavity. This small call, it's a cavity-like structure. It's like a round cavity-like structure, or oval, or depending on the tablet shape. So this is a die, this is the upper punch, this is the lower punch. Now this is a hopper from where the powders are flowing from a different region, maybe the loading point to the die area where actually it should be compressed into a tablet, right? So for that reason only we have studied the derived properties of the powders. There we have seen the angle of repose, which talks about the flow properties. Hope you understand why we have studied the flow properties. It should flow free. Let us say here you could see the tablet has been punched and it has been came out. So what happens is immediately this punch will come back once again. It's like a continuous process per hour. Maybe some 10,000 tablets will going to be punched. It's going to be very fast. If you want, you can see in some of the YouTube videos how this tablet punching process goes. It's like a very minute seconds. You couldn't be able to see the punching also. So immediately the drug has to be, the powders has to be come into this area from here with free flowing nature. Then only that will be refilled. Then the tablet is going to be come out. So there we have studied the angle of repose as a mean to calculate the flow properties of whether it is good blood flow or medium flow or whatever it is. That is the purpose. Now once these powders comes here, it will be filled into the cavity like this. You could see a cavity where this powders has been filled. Now what happens is the upper punch which was situated here will be lower down. Then what happens is these two punches as will come to very near together, they will compress the powder which is present here as much as tightly possible, as much as hardness it can able to get it. So what happens is after the punching, this upper punch once again, you can see the arrow mark is faced upwards. This will move once again back, leading to the formation of a tablet. You could see the size here, it is a big size. The powder is filled, it looks like a very big size. But once the upper punch came and punched the powder, you can see it's half of the volume it has been reduced and leading to the formation of a tablet. Now what happens is, now the lower punch works, because you could see the lower punch is not at all moving anywhere here. It's like a stagnant. So one could have doubt what is the role of lower punch. Now this lower punch will go upside, pushing this tablet out. You could see here to here, the lower punch has came outside, that means came up little to remove this tablet out. The tablet will come out. Then the process from one, as usual, it repeats. The powders will come, will fill back here once again. The upper punch will come, it will be punched into tablet, and the lower punch will push it. So these are the process of tablet compression. Now after the compression of tablet, there are some defects. See, any product, see, the product without defects is never a possible thing. That's why you can see in the market products like maybe in electronics also, you can see backside quality assurance or quality control mark which states that yes, it is passed through the quality. So like that, why they're saying that quality has been passed on, they have some pre-checks whether it is having the appearance or the function which is predetermined by the manufacturer. So like that, when a tablet is manufactured, it is also has some problems will be faced by the tablet. What is the problems you can see here? The first problem is picking and sticking. That means if you are using excess kind of binder, what happens is the tablets will stick to each other. You can see there is no smoothness on the surface because this will adhere with each other and leads to the removal of some other materials from each and every tablet. So that is called picking and sticking. Then capping and lamination. So sometimes what happens is after the formation of tablet, they will be separated into layers like this instead of a single tablet. This is called lamination. The third thing is called twinning. Twinning is nothing but two tablets together will adhere. Otherwise, like a twins, it looks like a twins. They will adhere like exactly like two tablets with each other. This problem is called as twinning. The another one is orange peel. This is especially applicable to the coating tablets. You could see some colored tablets. What happens is initially the tablet is in white color. For the better appearance of the patient compliance, they are going to coat with some material. So sometimes what happens is this coating will come out. So maybe whatever the reason it is, the coating will be come out, and that kind of problems is called as peeling or orange peel. And another thing is called erosion. So after the punching of tablets, instead of looking uniquely like this, you could see here some kind of erosions, removal of some kind of material. Somewhere some defect is looks like it is having some kind of breakage or rupture. This kind of problems is called erosion. Another problem is called roughness. Instead of smooth appearance like a shiny appearance, they might have very rough appearance or uneven texture. And bridging, you can see here the name is very clear. Here the names are unclear because of the bridging of the particles or whatever. So this and this, which is not there in the textbook at all, but this you have to understand to go further with the process which are there in the textbook. This is nothing but the process of tablet compression, and this is nothing but what is the defects that can be observed once the tablet has been finished. So let us go to the topic of Haeckel's plot, which he explains about, and before that what it is, he gives some introduction which is definitely necessary. They may ask like define a compaction, define compatibility, compression or whatever. Don't neglect that. This is not necessary. It should be necessary, then followed by them ask, explain the Haeckel's plot, which describes the tablet compression process. Maybe sometimes they ask an essay question. You might have to start from here and end up with the Haeckel's plots. So what is the basic definition Haeckel says about is compaction? What is the meaning of compaction? Is compaction of a powder is defined as, so compaction of a powder is defined as to a situation in which the powder is subjected to some level of mechanical force. So for all these definitions, only look into this diagram which we seen in the process of tablet compression. So he says in the compaction, nothing but it is subjected to some level of mechanical force. Compaction, nothing but the powders are facing some kind of mechanical force to compress. The mechanical force here is nothing but the force which is offering by the upper punch. It is offering some mechanical force so that it is subjected to some situation called as compaction. Now, what is compactability? So compaction followed by compactability. Compactability also nothing but which is a force offered by the tablet, but nothing but it is the ability of a powder material to get compressed. So what is the meaning is, we are saying here you are applying some pressure, some mechanical force. It doesn't mean that how much you apply accordingly, that much it is going to be thin. It cannot withstand everything. After some point of time, it's going to be brittle or going to be break or whatever it is. So what is the ability of this powder to get compressed? It may be 3 centimeters. So once you compress, the tablet looks like this. Or some other tablets will go further compression and it looks like this. But if you compress further, what will happen is they're going to break down into the particles, right? So what he says is, compaction is nothing but what is the force you are offering to compress, and compactability is nothing but how much it can able to compress. It may be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeters. Beyond one point, it is going to break. That is called as compactability. Then comes to the next definition called compression. Is the process of reduction in the bulk volume. See, try to understand all this explains about only the compression. Just a little logical terms will change. Here they are talking about the mechanical forces. Here they are taking about volume. Compression is nothing but the reduction in the bulk volume. Once you filled, this is the volume of the powder. Now after compression, it may be reduced to this much only. So what is the reduction in the bulk volume of the powder is called as compression. Now once again, what is compressibility is, what is the ability? That means how much ability that a tablet is having to decrease the volume of the powder is called as compressibility. Please don't confuse, because as all the looks same. The compaction only talks about the mechanical forces. The compaction talks about the mechanical forces, and the compactability is nothing but ability to reduce. Similarly, compression talks about the volume. Compression talks about the volume, and compressibility talks about the, once again, the ability how much it can able to compress. That is the definitions. Now, what is consolidation? We wish to say like consolidate the data, consolidate the data. So what is the consolidation is? It is the increase in the mechanical strength of the bed. That is nothing but the powders when subjected to rising comprehensive forces resulting in the particle-particle interaction. Now, what happens is before the particles are situated like this in the die wall or the cavity. Am I right? Now, what happens is when you compress using the upper punch, what happens is it will lead to the formation of a tablet. A solid tablet. That means no space is there. All spaces has been avoided with the particle. It is a tablet. Now, let you think about this. Somebody asked about which is having more mechanical strength, which is having a stubborn personality is, obviously we'll say this is a mechanical strength. This is having high hardness, but this is having no hardness because it is only lying whatever the die cavity space is providing. But here, once you remove the support of die wall or whatever, the tablet having good mechanical strength to retain access its form. So that's what is the meaning of consolidation is. It is the increase in the mechanical strength of the bed. Here the bed is nothing but these powders. We are increasing the mechanical strength of the bed by inducing some compressive forces resulting in the particle-particle interactions leads to the formation of tablet. So once again I'm saying these two are same. These two parts are same. Talks about the mechanical forces. And these two parts are same. Talks about the volume. And this is talks about all together, that is how much it can able to increase the mechanical strength when you compress. That is called consolidator. Now, what is the physics? Somebody asked, what is the physics of tablet compression? What is the physics you are applying to the tablet compression is nothing but the compression and consolidation. The compression and consolidation is nothing but the physics of tablet compression. That means initially you're compressing, that means initially reducing the volume, that leads to the increase in the mechanical strength of the tablet. That is nothing but physics of tablet compression. Compression followed by increasing the strength. Right? Hope you understand these definitions. Now, so the physics of tablet compression are explained by the two kinds of forces. So you are saying it is increased hardness, it is having a robust structure, it is having some stubborn structure. So what is the forces? Let us say all tablets will not have same kind of hardness. Usual hardness will measure in the units of kg per meter square. So one tablet having 4, one tablet having 5, one tablet having different hardness. So what are the factors which determines this kind of different hardness is? One are the static forces. So one types of forces called as static forces. The name itself indicates the forces which are at rest. What are the forces? The density of the particles, the hardness of the particles it contains, how much force it contains, what is the surface area or disintegration time. All these factors will influence the compaction. Let us say a powder having a bigger pores like this, a powder having smaller pores. So obviously what happens is when you compress it, this tablet will look bigger than this kind of tablet. So that is nothing but pores. So the compaction of the tablet depends upon porosity, the density, the mass by volume, the surface area. Surface area once again depend nothing but the size of the particles and also the disintegration time. These are static forces which depends on the compaction, how much you can able to compact the tablet. Similarly, the dynamic forces, the forces which are at dynamic level, nothing but the expenditure of energy which are utilizing to compress, the distribution of pressure in the die wall. So when you're punching in the tablet, whether the pressure is uniformly distributing or not in the entire tablet is the distribution of forces. So these are the two main forces which affects the tablet compression process. So whatever the forces it is, so the no need of explaining in the exam any of these forces, just write what is the forces as example. So whatever the forces it is, they should be sufficiently hard and to avoid the tendency to the chip and cap. Now we understand why. Okay, now it's hard when there is some technical problem. Yes, please look into back this. Okay. So the tablet should be sufficiently hard and avoid the tendency to chip and cap. So the tablet defects also we have discussed before. What this says about is whatever the forces it is, they should be sufficiently help to make an hard tablet so that any defects in the tablet formulation can be avoided. So the forces required for the compaction are understood on the basis of what are the intrinsic properties of the solid, such as individual particle behavior, and also the derived properties, which is in the micrometrics, the intrinsic and the derived properties such as bulk properties of the powder like density, porosity, or whatever. Once again, this talks about this paragraph only, whatever discussed here. So whatever that compression you want to make it, that the properties of the materials is always playing the major role. So one is the powder materials itself, or the derived properties of the powders itself will make the influence on this. So these are quantified for evaluating. So that means these powders has been evaluated for porosity, density, and all these properties for evaluating the compaction behavior and understanding the powder behavior also. So these are the forces that one should be studied during the reformulation of the tablets to make a nice tablet. Next is, in general, what is the general principles of tablet compression? So what is the general, the theories involved in the tablet compression is, so many of the materials in the pharmacy, that means the pharmaceutical sector, are basically they are not metals. They are the mixture of organic compounds. So hence they have so many properties which can significant in each stage of compression. Is the mechanical properties of these powders like plastic behavior, crushing strength, the chemical nature such as the surface charges, otherwise the zeta potential which is present on the surface, the surface effects like friction, adsorption, films, and lubrication. All these properties will play a role in the tablet compression process. So basically they have divided these properties into two categories. One is the interaction among the particles during compression. So there are some cases the particles, the powders as such, they're going to be compressed, and there are some cases their particles are usually prepared into granules that will be get compressed. So in the case of only the particles, if you are using for the compression into tablet, the surface energy of the solids present, the electrostatic forces present on the particles, and the absorption bonding present on the particles will play a major role in the tablet compression process. If you are using granules, the absorption bonding, whereas a binder bridges, the binder is nothing but the solvent which you are using to make the binding between the granules. So if you could see the differences here, there is nowhere related except this adsorption bonding, which is common. Adsorption bonding is nothing but the van der Waals forces, the forces of attraction, the weaker forces of attraction, which doesn't involve any chemical bond formation, are called as adsorption bonding or van der Waals bonding. Except this, they have different, because when it talks about particle, individual particle having surface energy, individual particles having the charge on the surface. So these play a major role. But when you make these particles into granules is nothing but a group of particles. They don't have this kind of properties now. The other properties which they are having, apart from the van der Waals forces, they have binder bridges, because while preparing granules, you will use some solvent. See, when you're making, please try to understand. I have a particles like this. What is the meaning of granules is, I am making some solid mass, some kind of a mixture or salt kind of thing using these particles. These are called granules. You already prepare the granules to determine the flow properties, if you could remember, right? So this talks about the powder particles and their role in tablet compression. This talks about the granules. This talks about the granule properties, but they were not related with each other, because when you talk about the powders, you have to talk about the surface energy or electrostatic forces or whatever. But when you're talking about granules, there is no role of these two. When you're preparing this, you're using some water or starch or whatever another solvents which are using, like alcohol, that will come out and will form a bonding between the two granules. In order to form some kind of bond between the two granules, the solvents has to out. So that is called as binder bridges. That is called as binder bridges. Interaction between the binder bridges will influence the compression of the tablet. So what is the factors influencing the compression is the rate of application of external force. At what rate you are applying the external force, and what time you are applying the external force. What is the meaning of external force? There is a die wall, you are filling the powder, and you are using the upper punch, as well as the lower punch. So we are talking about these two punches. Factors, we are talking about these two punches. So first factor, what they says about is the rate of application. That means at what speed you are punching also influence the compression, and also how much time you are compressing. Let us say that it has been compressed, so how much time it was there on the tablet surface, it has been immediately came up, otherwise 1 second 2 seconds you are holding it, that is called as time of application. So both will influence the tablet quality or the tablet hardness or the tablet strength. So if the rate of application of forces is high, that means you are using high pressure, you are using high compressional force, the tablet must never attains the state of stress strain equilibrium. Yes, if you could have remember back the first slide which I'm saying about, if you want to make a tablet, you have to make a proper compression, because beyond some compression level, it is going to be deformed. That is called, that stage is called as stress strain equilibrium. At point beyond which the tablet is going to be break down into pieces, that is called a defragmentation. So the rate of application should be sufficient to attain the stress strain equilibrium during tableting. For example, plastically deformed solids exhibit brittle fracture. That means once you punch, and if you are further punching it without leaving the pressure out, when machine speed is increased, leads to the defect in the tablets. What are the defects we discussed? That the kind of defects are coming because the problem, one of the problem is you are applying more pressure. When you are applying more pressure, like capping, sticking, all those problems which you are discussed about is going to be occurred when you have the high rate of application or the high rate of speed. Similarly, time of application, that means you are using prolonged periods. That means you are applying the pressure for the prolonged periods of time. Plastic deformation of solids may continue lead to the more consolidation. That means more and more hard tablet you are going to get. For example, fewer tablets exhibit expansion of size, reduction, decompression upon the prolonged loads. So if you're applying for longer prolonged period of time, either, or you're applying for more speed or the more pressure also, it will lead to the so many tablet defect problems which you have discussed earlier in the first or second slides of this presentation. So the actual Eccles plot, which is there kind of followed by this, we'll be discussing in the next class. Hope you understand this. Just I'm going to glance what was done till now. We have seen the process of tablet compression because this has been discussed while discussing the various sections in the topic of deformation of solids. Then we have discussed what is the various problems which will occur during tablet compression process, because we have seen if you are using the more pressure, if you are using the more time to apply the pressure, these are the various problems that may happen during the tablet compression. Then we have seen the definitions, the basic definitions. Then we have also seen the physics of tablet compression, which is affected by the static forces and the dynamic forces. And also we have seen the general principles to discuss about the tablet compression process, that is interaction among the particles and also interaction among the granules during the compression. And also we have discussed what is the various problems, what is the various factors which is causing the problems in the tablet compression, that is the rate of application as well as the time of application. So we are going to discuss this compression as nothing but Eccles plot during the next class.